Hi everyone, it's Cassie and it's 7 o'clock at night. That's why this video is happening at my house. But I wanted to explain, last week I gave you some resources from DataWorks. This is an EDI folder. I put it together with some resources we had left over from previous trainings. I tried to make it specific to your grade level. And I wanted to explain some important information in there that you need to be using right away. Okay. Student engagement, student engagement, student engagement. That is what you should be making sure is happening right now. I gave you the TAPL folder, not TAPL folder, I'm sorry, TAPL poster a few weeks ago. All of you got it in your boxes. That should be hanging at the back of your room for you to see. It's for you, not your students. And two very specific strategies that should be already implemented in your classroom is specific pair share. That means you have an A and a B partner. You have a peanut butter and a jelly. And when there is a prompt for students to speak, you're telling one to speak first, and they turn and they share their answer. And then your students have been trained so that the next one shares their answer. Then you have a signal to come back, whether it's yes, yes, class, class, yes, yes, forward, Ola, Ola, Coca-Cola, whatever it is, they come back to you. And then you're ready to do random selection, which is what you should have in place also to pick some non-volunteers. Now, there's lots of ways to do random selection, but honestly, sticks is the best. Because when you're doing random selection up on your board for your spinny wheel or whatever, you're staying up at the board. You're not moving around checking for understanding with your students. Sticks lets you move around and check for understanding with your students. Sticks also lets you fake a stick because maybe you heard someone's really great answer that you want everyone else to be able to hear. Okay, so some method of random selection, and you have to have specific pair share set up. I would suggest taping something to the desk, no matter what grade you're in. All right, let's move on to some kind of new ones, but easy to implement. So you should have a poster like this in the folder. Okay, here's some other student engagement strategies. Okay. Students are supposed to be speaking 50% of the time during lessons, but there are also other ways that students can be engaged, okay? Here's one way, pronounce with me. When you're introducing a new concept, okay, or new vocabulary word in your learning objective, or your concept development, you should be making sure that they're pronouncing this language with you. So this week I heard a lot from, third grade all the way up to sixth grade about variables. Today we will solve for the unknown variable. Variable, we're going to define that in just a moment, but let's make sure we can say it. Say it with me. Variable, 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 variable. That's right. And then you'll define it. A variable is something, usually a letter, that we use to represent a number we don't know about. Okay, track with me. Track with me is good for learning objectives, for concept development, when we're doing our guided practice. So you would be, if you're reading something, they're tracking along with you, okay? But then they should be going back and reading it with you. I've seen a lot of teachers just reading the information to students. They're not engaged when we're reading this information to them. They're just zoning out. Let's get them to read it with us. So for example, here's a lesson on fifth grade, inference. If we're going to be reading this passage, they also have these where the students can have the handout themselves. Then they would have their finger there, they're tracking, okay, let's read the first two sentences together. Theo stood in a line before the doors opened. Now, on a side note, if the language is too difficult for the students, okay, you chunk it and you do the reading first. Theo stood in a line before the doors opened. Your turn. Theo stood in a line before the doors opened, and then you keep moving on, okay, if the language is too difficult. But they should be reading, not you reading everything to them, okay? All right, gesture with me, one of my favorites. It doesn't matter what grade you're in. Gestures help solidify the concept. All right, so the concept in our fifth grade lesson is inference, and I'm defining it. All right, students, today we're going to be learning about inference. Let me tell you what that is. Inference is something that may be true based on the information that we have. Okay, read it with me and let's gesture awful. Also, this is inference because I kind of have to guess. Inference is something that what? May be true based on the information that I have. All right, now we're going to tell our partner, what does inference mean? I better see those gestures. All right, peanut butter, you share first. Okay, going around the room checking. Gestures, important, keeps the students engaged. Course, specific, pair, share. A to B, B to A. This is like non-negotiable. I don't know how many times I can say it. Their share is not, okay, talk to your elbow partner. It's specific, A to B, B to A. Attention signal. You have to have attention signals for a lot of things, but attention signals can also be student engagement when they say something back, right? They're helping themselves get refocused too, right? Hola, hola, Coca-Cola, holy moly, guacamole, class, class. Yes, yes, that's student engagement and getting their focus back. Whiteboards, every grade should have whiteboards. Whiteboards are a great way for checking for understanding and students are doing something. And you don't have to go up to every student. You can see their response and make sure you have 80% so you can keep moving on. So here's the procedure for whiteboards. You ready? So easy. You give them the prompt and have them respond. And also, you can put frames and things inside the whiteboard if there's a certain way you need them. Here's the procedure. Write it, hide it, and they're waiting until you say, chin it. Okay? Easy. Hide it, write it, chin it. That's the procedure. Okay, last student engagement strategy is expecting and modeling complete sentence answers. And might I say, with a rationale. I saw great lessons in second grade today where those students were restating the prompt and providing their own justifications. So do not let students get away with single word responses. Okay, so those are some very easy to implement student engagement strategies and expectations. Make sure this poster goes back to with your TAPL up on the back of the wall so you see it and you're making sure you're implementing them in your lessons. All right, that was 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and I hope I didn't take too much of your time, but gave you something that you can start using right away. Thanks.